Pues muchas gracias. Ahora pasaremos con nuestro siguiente invitado, Adrien Moisson. La verdad es que, pues, bueno, lo conocí yo en un panel increíble de expertos que incluía National Geographic, incluía la gente de Google, y me encantó su manera de afrontar, de encarar su proyecto, porque su prioridad, digo, más allá de que ahora podrán acceder al proyecto que está disponible en línea para que la gente en su casa pueda disfrutarlo, pero realmente la manera en la que él lo llevaba era: necesitamos salvar a la mayor cantidad de especies que fuera posible, y por eso hicimos este proyecto. Entonces, más allá de un gran contenido y de un proyecto, por supuesto, que tiene que buscar este balance entre mensaje, educación y sustentabilidad, yo creo que Adrián y el proyecto Wild Immersion representa un camino que todos en América Latina podríamos seguir para crear contenido que no nada más sirva para inspirar, sino que al final del camino conserve nuestro patrimonio natural. Muchas gracias. Hello, Adrian. How are you, my friend? Very well. Where are you now?
I'm in France now. I'm visiting different places in France.
Super. So I was just telling our audience how wonderful was the experience to create such a amazing content, also to create this location-based experience, but above all, the vision of impact that you planned since the beginning on turning XR into a tool for conservation. So if you would like to enlighten us about this experience, the floor is yours. Thank you, Adrien.
And the goal of Wild Immersion is really respectful to nature. From this connection, we have the opportunity to educate them and to show them information about the wildlife and how it's so important to protect it. Because you know that 68% of animals have disappeared in 40 years, 80% of the insects in 20 years. So we are really in a biodiversity collapse, unfortunately, but we really can do something. And the goal of Wild Immersion is really to show the beauty of the world and to teleport people into nature. Like that, with the VR set and the VR theater that we are opening, we can really bring emotion to the audience, and we have no huge rate of satisfaction when the people check the film with the VR set, because they really feel they are there. Like you see the kids really thinking that the lion is coming to them. They can fly with flamingos, they can dive with dolphins, they can see big whales and different animals they will never see in their life. And it's really important to show them the nature as it is, but also to show them that it can disappear really fast. There is only few people now, few places in the world where you can see the animals like that, and we need to preserve this, but also to give back some space to nature. For example, if all humanity would stop meat now, we could live free 80% of the land, because 80% of the land are used to feed animals that we eat. For example, we are killing 100 billion animals a year. And if you include the fish, we are using more than 1,000 billion. So it's really important to know this number and to do something. And the goal of Wild Immersion is really to do it through entertainment, through magic, and through teleportation in the nature.
Thank you, Adrien. So, as complement of this wonderful proposal and project, I've been a witness of the challenges and opportunities that you guys have created, both on the opening of location bases, specifically for wild immersion, but also partnering with other location-based spaces to bring this awareness into the audiences. I don't know if you can expand a little bit on what has been all this process, because as a fan and a friend, I've been able to see how the whole location-based started at one point, and then all of this evolution and different kind of formats for children, for specific exposition events, for inside already existing locations, etc. So if you can share a little bit about that, it would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, wild immersion is really a project which is adaptable to every kind of space. We have like few stands that are like even only 5 seats in malls, for example, or we have places with more than 100 seats. And also we are developing a lot the activity before the show with screen where you can see the different animals with questions, also using the smell and the touch of the children, like that they can really enter in experience in a different way. You can also draw animals and send them to screen. We created games where like you become an animal. And the idea is really to be adaptable and to be in every major city. And also we created a bus that is going through different places all around the world. For the moment, it's in France, but it was in Serbia before. It's going in Tunisia. Now we have more than 15 VR theaters around the world. We have some in the US, in Canada, in France.
And hopefully here in Mexico soon.
We have in France, in Canada, in US, in now we have like in almost all the continents. Yeah, so that's in Nice. I just went there yesterday and I filmed that. So like what is really great is to see the reaction of the people. Like kids love it, and they really, you see like this kid, he really feels that he's with animals. And that the power of the VR is really to teleport people into nature. And you can adapt it like in small or big place. And we have a lot of people coming. And what is also important, so the games that we have developed, like you see the face of the people becoming an orangutan or like a turtle. You have like a lot of different animals, and like that the kids can play before the show and not have to wait in a boring queue. And in this room, you can also educate people and give them information about where to find the animals and also the numbers, their skill, how they live. We developed the wild facts and so short films that show some facts that are interesting about the different species of the animals. Now we are developing also wild at home, and so you can go on the website wildimmersion.io, and you can also see the film at home and have some quiz and some information about the animals, really to share the experience everywhere. Our goal is really to show that nature is abundant, but we need to protect it and give it more length and bring back the connection with the animal kingdom and the plants. And now the studies are really interesting that show that the plants are all interconnected together. They are like even communicating, and the science is really going fast in the like understanding that we are all linked, and the nature helps us on many ways, like filtering water, filtering air, giving us resources, and we are more a symbiote species than in a competition with the nature. For the moment, humans are a bit like parasites on Earth because we just began to understand our link with nature. And I feel that in next year, we're going to become more symbiote and get back to have a clear understanding that we need to protect the environment because it's our home. And when it's your home, you want it to be beautiful and to be like well prepared for the future and the future generation. So that's why also we developed some merchandising to spread the message, some books. We have now 10 different books about the different animals. And it's the whole concept of Wild Immersion. It's really to bring awareness about the beauty of this world and also to make it playful, interesting, and like that you can have more and more people that can protect the nature and have a connection between them, the people that really like this kind of topics, but also with the reserves. That's why we created Wild Angels, a foundation which is bringing support to different reserves in the world, in South America, in Tanzania. And the goal is to have like everywhere some wild immersion. Like that, we can create a huge network, a community, which is going to really work together to bring something really cool. Because when you see a wild immersion film, it's not boring. It's really an experience, and you have the power of the teleportation, but you have also the magic of the animals. They are great, and you see them in nature. It's totally a different experience than in the zoo because you see them as they are, and they are really incredibly wonderful. So these images are in Singapore, the one that we are opening right now. And we have many proposals in different places. And I would love like one day to open in Mexico with you, Roberto.
That's exactly what we are aiming to, Adrien. And, you know, we're in Climate Week as well. We're on the COP26 edition, and everybody over there in Glasgow is going crazy for the environmental action. And I want you to share a little bit of what has been your experience to work on this project, like being one-on-one in nature. I mean, like I've seen the content, and it's really incredible the proximity that you managed to create, both in land, both in water, and also, you know, with the endorsement and the chance to include a Nobel Prize winner such as Jane Goodall. So, if you can please tell us about what was the production process, and yeah, what are the insights and learnings from that, the takeaways?
Yeah, in fact, Wild Immersion began with a crazy idea really to create a virtual reserve. I really wanted animals to be free in the nature and not like in captivity. And I really wanted to create this experience. And it was not done before. So at the beginning, we have like 6 different cameras, create 360. And then the camera went better like 3 months after, and even better 6 months after. But you need to know that at the beginning, when we went the first time in Tanzania to film animals, the first camera was eaten by a lion on the first day. So we did our camera, and it disappeared immediately because the lion were really not afraid by the camera. They directly came on the camera and hit it. But we have the footage because we managed to work with the team, the brand of the camera, and we could go inside the little memory card, and we could recompose the image. So it was not totally lost. But the day after, we put our other camera near to a little lake where the animals were going to take water. And one elephant came, two, three. So we were really excited, saying like, wow, it's going to be a wonderful shot. But then, like, 20 other elephants came and totally crashed the camera in the water. And it was even like 20 centimeters under the soil. And we get it back and we couldn't get the footage. And so, like, after 2 days, we had no more camera. So we were a bit depressed. It was a bit difficult for the beginning. And we were like, oh, nature is so dangerous, etc. But after we were really so motivated by this project that changed our point of view and managed to get like incredible footage because it's more like really seeing nature as abundant and nature as an ally instead of an enemy. And this connection through nature that is talking Jane Goodall when she's in the forest, like being one with the forest and feeling the spirit of the plants and animals, allow you to get really closer. And so you need to really feel like a lion if you want to film a lion. You really need to think like an elephant to get this kind of footage. And so we really went into a deep introspection and into a real connection with nature to get this footage because we are really close in the nature and we can really have like a big proximity with the animals. And so we are a small team because we want to keep like that. Because if you are too many, you can't go close to the wild animals. So we really want to have like only 2 people filming, and like that we can have footage where the animals are like really 30 centimeters, 1 meter from the camera, and we also use different points of view. Like at one point you are under a giraffe, you are flying with different birds. We are using drones, but also little cars. And so you can be as an ant and as small as an insect, or be as big as a giraffe, or run with wolves. And like that, you have different experiences, and you can really feel how the animals are living.
I want to ask you more on a personal note. Octavia Butler will say, everything you change changes you, you know, and change is the only constant, everlasting constant, you know, God is change. So I want to ask you on this experience from the Adrien Moisson that was, you know, before endeavoring in this project to being in this connection, in this journey, and the outcome of that, and how your very purpose has evolved during this experience. So if you can share a little bit of that in a personal note.
Yeah, you're totally right. Everything you do is changing you. And so what you mentioned totally changed me because I was on a journey to become a vegetarian. So now I'm fully vegetarian, also a minimalist. So to get out of the overconsumption, and now I only have like one suitcase, and I'm traveling only with that, and also trying to take less planes, and trying to find solution to be like coherent. And it's a real journey because I think we are in a shift of civilization, a shift of values. Also, we are going more into cooperation than into competition. And for me, a key word now is regeneration. We are coming from an extractive economy to regenerative economy. And so that's all this topic that Wild Immersion allowed me to develop and really embody, and to also to be more calm, doing less things and doing them more intuitively and deeply, and also trying to have a real purpose and sense in all what I'm doing. And on this, you were talking about Jane Goodall, which is our godmother. And Jane Goodall was really an example for me because she's working on the environmental field since like more 40 years, and she's still going and explaining the same thing, teaching the people that everything you are doing every day is changing the world, in fact. So it's not on a big rate, it's really something which is step by step, but also every move you are doing, every buy you are doing, also like everything you are like buying or selling is really important. Is it interesting for the world, but also is it destroying something, or is it making a better world? And so, as she said, like every move you make is a step that can be good or bad, and that can help the environment or destroy it. So you need to think about that and be more conscious about your impact and continue every day to protect what you love. That's why we created Wild Immersion, is really to allow people to love nature, because now a lot of people, like I think 90% of the world is living in cities, totally disconnected from nature. But we are really, we are the nature. We are part of it, and it's not disconnected from us. Humans are animals, and we are different from the other species, but we have a lot in common, and we have this planet which is like a gift. And when we are seeing the people who want to go to Mars and to live in another planet, we really know that it's impossible, like before 100 or 200 years. And so we need to get together to have like results, immediate results on the protection of the environment, because it's our home. That's as simple as that. And the science and the physics show us that there is no other solution than to get all together as a community, as a human community, to find solutions.
Absolutely, and I think we have that in common. I work on the oceans. That's how we met in a panel, sharing our experiences regarding the usage of these technologies for a positive impact in the environment. So I really value that you share that with us, because it's complicated to explain to people, because one thing is, okay, we have inspirational experience. That's what the like first wave of VR. I think it can be denominated, in terms of 360 video, inspirational. But then really, it has to evolve into, educational and so on, even what kind of skills we can develop through these new technologies. And now that we're talking about the metaverse, and now that it's just clear that, Facebook, Microsoft, and all, HTC itself are going to have a powerful movement ahead into this metaverse, and always the challenge and the threat of dystopia, of separating humanity from human experience. And I think you and I we concurred that was one of the most important reasons why to take a place in the immersive technology space. Why to bring projects that connects humans with natures, and how to develop sustainable business models, and that those business models can impact directly on the mission and the content itself that we're creating. And I don't know if you want to comment on that. I think I would love to know your perspectives on this metaverse and risk and potentials.
Yeah, I fully agree that it's important to think about that, because the gaming industry, for example, is going really big, and as you said, it could be a real dystopia if you have only like zombie games and you are shooting people all the day. I don't think it's gonna bring awareness and consciousness to humanity, especially if we continue to destroy the world and try to create a new world where we could be better. I think it's impossible to be better in the metaverse than on the real Earth. And I read an article really interesting, like yesterday, about that, and saying that the richest people in the world, like, were escaping reality and escaping the world that they are destroying, because the problem is that rich people, and I'm part of this population, have more impact on destroying than on bringing like protection on nature, because we are using too much things and taking too much on Earth, and so these rich people were escaping reality through a kind of story that we will conquer space, or creating metaverse to create another universe to be better in this universe, which is totally a scam, because on this metaverse, you can feel that we are creating incredible images, but you won't feel it as like seeing a sunset, for example. See an incredible sunset, or dive with like millions of fish, or encounter a giraffe or anything like that in the nature, is really more interesting. And as you said, that's what Jane Goodall brought to humanity. She was the first to show that animals were using tools. She was the first to show that chimpanzee had character, emotions. And so now we can't deny that animals are beings like us, and they are not objects, or they are not like without consciousness. Animals have a consciousness. Animals have families. Animals have territories. Animals have even kind of culture or tradition, like, and we are doing that uh, really fast. And now we have the possibility really to understand that if we go more in ourselves and connect more to meditation, yoga, we calm our way of life, and we can be more happy, because it's different to have pleasure than to have happiness. Like the study are showing that also, because happiness is based on dopamine, and you need more and more and more, and you are like never satisfied. And happiness is working with endorphin, which is like almost the opposite of dopamine. So pleasure is something quick that you need every day. It's kind of addiction, and it's like we know that sugar is bringing this, food is bringing that, like smoking or drinking and this kind of stuff. And happiness is totally different. It's more about values, about your surrounding, your connection to yourself, to your family, to your community, and to the world. And I think the most important is to go to happiness than to pleasure. And the consumption society is trying to sell you pleasure and desire, which is a kind of destruction of the world if we go too fast in this kind of topics and in this way. And so that's really important to see that we have a whole world to discover. We can share it. We can manage to be more happy together, and really to open our consciousness to other dimensions, spirituality, the animal kingdom, in the mushroom kingdom. You can see a fantastic film which is like called the Fantastic Fungi, for example. It shows you the network of the mushroom, how they are important for plants, and the forest, how the different plants can communicate through a network which is created with the mushroom. And so, in fact, how nature is so intelligent and how it's like incredibly complex and something that human is not capable to do. In fact, we think that we are like so at the edge of technology and the edge of science, but in fact we are copying nature, and we are not doing better. We are really learning from it, and we should keep all the species that we are now destroying, because it's like a library of knowledge. Nature is full of things that we can learn from, and it's so amazing. Like if you see a game like Pokemon, you see like, wow, it's incredible, they create so many things, but in fact everything is already in nature. You have like so many species, you have millions of different animals, millions of different insects, plants. It's like an incredible attraction park is nature, and we need to get back to it, and bring it in the cities also, like with a cool state, and showing that also it can be profitable. That's why we created Wild Immersion, is really to bring nature into the cities where the people are, to entertain them, to show them that it's fun, that they can connect to nature, but also between each other. It's a collective experience, and also it's profitable. You can get money from it if you are the owner of the Wild Immersion, and that's why we really want to help people to open some places like that everywhere.
Magnifique, mon ami. It's really inspiring, the approach. I think that as long as technology allows us to connect, it will have a value, and many people just don't have neither the awareness or the desire or the means to access to nature. And that is why projects such as Wild Immersion comes to bring a value to society. And in that sense, in Mexico and Latin America, VRFest is the largest festival of Latin America on virtual reality and augmented reality.
So Wild Immersion is now going through the US and the Canada, and we really want to open also in South America. And so we are searching some partners, and we would love to work with the different countries, because we have seen a lot in South America, in Amazonia, obviously, because it's like one of the most important places for biodiversity. We have even make some making of in Amazonia. I'm really connected to different indigenous tribes, and I really love this place. But also we went in Colombia, we went in Peru, Argentina, and in Central America, also Mexico, Panama, and Uruguay. Like we really want to show that everywhere in the world you have incredible places where like thousands and millions of species are interacting together as an ecosystem, and that like you can really enter in this world and bring it in different places, like in the center of town, and really discover that like it can be something magical to reconnect with ourselves. That's why we created films that are more slow, but also more close to the animals, and really to try to be part of the nature. And now we have also like this bus wild immersion going even in the small villages. We have some programs who go in the school, and we have also um, in hospitals. We are working with scientists to show that VR and nature is helping people to heal and to be less stressed, and that's really important for us.
Thank you, Adrien. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. C'est magnifique. And I hope that we have wild immersion soon in Mexico and Latin America. Maybe we need to make a special edit of the LATAM nature so we can, also bring more people into it. And I just want to thank you. And, we will be collaborating in this opening of the whole XR industry. We have great plans on the future, and Mexico is a friend, and we'd love to have you over soon. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.